So we've found the equation of a straight line given 2 points that lie on the line. Sometimes we'll be given a straight line equation and we will need to find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to it. So we might be given the equation of this line and then we might be asked to find the equation of this line, which is perpendicular to it. If this line has equation y equals mx plus c, then this line has equation y equals negative 1 over mx plus some other constant. I'm calling that d. So whatever the gradient is of this line, m, the gradient of the perpendicular is the negative reciprocal, so negative 1 over m. The example we're going to do is find the equation of the line perpendicular to y equals 5x minus 2, which passes through the point 10, 4. So the first thing we want to identify is that the original line has gradient 5. So the line which is perpendicular is still going to be in the form y equals mx plus c, but its gradient, m, is going to be the negative reciprocal of this. So it's going to be negative 1 over 5. So the equation of the perpendicular line is going to be y equals negative a fifth of x plus some constant. So we know y equals negative a fifth of x plus some constant, and we know it passes through 10, 4. So we're going to substitute this into here and find out what that constant is. So y is 4 equals negative a fifth of x, which is 10, plus a constant. So it equals negative 2 plus a constant. So c equals 6. Then that means that the equation of the line which is perpendicular to y equals 5x minus 2 is going to be y equals negative a fifth x plus 6. The questions that I want you to do for this section start off ridiculously easy and get progressively more difficult. So question 1 is just asking you to find the gradient of a line which is perpendicular to a line with 1a gradient 6. So if you've got a line with gradient 6, the gradient of the line that's perpendicular is negative 1 over 6. For question 2, it's saying write down the equation of any line which is perpendicular to the lines you've been given. So y equals 2x plus 3. There are loads of lines which are perpendicular to this one. You haven't been given a specific point, so all you need is that y has the negative reciprocal gradient, and then it can be plus anything. It could be plus 10, it could be plus 15, it could be plus negative a million, it could be plus nothing at all. So it could just be this one. But this is perpendicular to this because the gradient is the negative reciprocal. Be careful, because if you have to write down an equation that's perpendicular to this line, the gradient is not 5. To find the gradient, we need to make y the subject. So it would actually be 5 over 2x plus a half. Then we can take the negative reciprocal of this. So the perpendicular line would have equation negative 2/5 of x plus some constant. So always, if you've got a coefficient in front of y, make sure you've made y the subject. And again, for questions like this one, the gradient of this line is not 5. You need to make y the subject. So we would need to do 5x minus 4 equals 10y, and then divide through by 10. And go from there. So 5 over 10x, that's really a half x. and 4 over 10 is really 2/5. So the line which is perpendicular to this one is perpendicular to this one. So it would be y equals negative reciprocal, so negative 2x plus anything you like. So key tip there, get all of your equations into the form y equals something before you start doing the perpendicular line. And that should be enough for you to have a go at the exercises.